There you go. Okay. Okay, so once you're there, press the love heart button. For those of you that are really good at technology, here's a QR code you can scan to join. So just literally point your camera at the screen. If you've got a Samsung Android phone like me, it's really easy. Yeah, there you go. Lulato's got it. So point your camera at the phone and scan it to join.
Sorry, Cecile, I'm using Mentimeter on the laptop.
Yeah.
So could you just repeat the code again, please? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. It's 8580611.
Perfect. That has not worked. Sorry, just 85906.
So go to www.menti.com and enter 8580611.
Perfect.
How do I know if it's working?
Yeah, it's working. It's working.
Oh, okay.
It's working. You should just see a QR code on your screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant. All right. So,
sorry, my phone doesn't scan QR code. So how would
That's okay. Just go to www.menti.com and enter 8580611. You don't need to scan the QR code.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Is anyone else struggling?
What's happened is just once I've typed in the code, it's just going to be the sort of QR code, yeah?
Absolutely. You're on the right screen. Excellent. Okay. So let's get started. Let's find out from you guys. What do you do for a living? So what do you do for a living? This is all anonymous, by the way. If you're not speaking, please go on mute. So you should see a screen now saying, what do you do for a living? So what do you do for a living? Just enter it in there. So you've got a lawyer, outreach strategy, biomedical science, all nice. Conference producer, got some software engineers. Eat, someone eats for a living. I guess that is actually technically true. We've got architects, therapists, UX, primary teacher, marketer, someone gyms for a living, administration, aspiring entrepreneur. Wow, really love it, guys. Such a mixed bag of people. It's going to be very interesting. So a really, really, really diverse set of people on the call today. All right, let's go on to the next thing. How would you describe yourself? Are you a founder, a co-founder? Are you working professional, student? Are you unemployed or other? So how would you describe yourself? Okay, so quite a few working professionals on the call. Got one other. Does the other care to just shout out what it is that they would describe themselves as? You don't have to. It'd be great if you could. Oh, now we've got two. Now everyone's going to jump on other. Okay, cool.
I was just going to get my HR consultant who works in Agland, so I work across media.
Yeah.
And I studied media and marketing and HR, so I've got the sort of marketing know-how, but also in a sort of day-to-day capacity, I work in HR. So, yeah.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, To. All right, so thanks for that. So next question is, what stage are you in building a startup or company? And maybe you have no interest in building a startup or a company, and that's absolutely fine. So what stage are you in? And what I'm seeing now is this overlaying the answers from the last question. So I just have a view of where people are. So we've got quite a few founders that have already started, some working professionals that have also started, So a lot of interest in building a startup or a company on the call today. Not many people in the running company with employees area. Okay, it's really interesting. Okay, so quite a few founders that have built startups already on the call, and also working professionals. So this is really good to know. Some very forward-thinking students as well. Awesome. What gender are you? What gender are you? Oh, it looks like a tug of war, doesn't it? And the males and non-binaries are losing. That's really good. Some really good representation on this call. I love it. Awesome. Okay. What demographic do people usually assume you are? So this is other people just looking at you. What do they assume you are usually? I always like the graphics on this stuff. It just makes me really excited.
How are you doing this? Is this a new tool that it does the graphics? It's kind of cool.
A magician never reveals his tricks, unfortunately.
That's a really interesting question, because I always forget that I know my mixed heritage, but I always forget that to other people I just look black and that's what they see. So it's really interesting that you're asking.
Yeah, exactly. That's why that question's phrased like that. We just want to know kind of what experience you go through. Okay, really good to know, guys. And what's your previous experience with design tools? So what is your previous experience with design tools in general? Okay, so lots of people dabbling. A few experts, handful of experts. I hope that's not the Framer team just showing off there. Okay, really good. So dabblers, quite a few people that have never used one, and some people that are good. Okay, that's really good to know. Now, for the last question, name your favorite, most famous entrepreneurs. So don't think too tough about this. Just put in an entrepreneur, famous one that you really like, or one you don't like. Okay, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs. Okay, Bill Gates. Nasty Nas. I was not expecting to see that. People are really reaching there. All right, Robert F. Smith, Colonel Sanders. Okay, a bit of KFC in there. All right, Pascal Finette, Zuckerberg, Michelle Obama. Okay, lovely. Rihanna, Dyson. I didn't know Dyson was the richest person in the UK. I found out the other day. It's really interesting what the richest person in the UK does. It's like invent a Hoover. And in America, it's like, yeah, build the like most technological advanced company in the world. Really interesting. Okay, cool. So it's really good to know who your favorite entrepreneurs are, and you'll see why this is relevant in a second. Okay, thanks guys. So I'm gonna quickly switch over to this. So welcome to the masterclass Design a Prototype in a Day. So usually when we ask this question to people, the person that comes up 95% of the time, they are on this list, right? Now, that's not to say there's anything bad with these guys, but they're all from one demographic, and you can't help think that aren't there other people from different backgrounds that are good at building companies or even interested in building companies? Did you know, for example, that a black male has 1% chance of securing VC funding, right, compared to everyone else? When you look at Black females, that drops to 0.2%. And if you look at the total amount raised by Black females between 2009 and 18 in technology venture funding, Black females only get 0.0006% of the pie. So a really small amount. And you can't help think, is there not enough interest from people from underrepresented backgrounds? Maybe that's why the figures look so bad. Well, actually, when you look at the distribution of early stage entrepreneurs in England, sorry, in Britain, there are a lot more in terms of percentage ethnic minority and immigrant British people starting businesses than white British. So something looks kind of out of whack there. So at Foundervine, we believe that talent is evenly distributed, but the opportunity and funding to get that talent to build companies is not. And that's why we work to make sure that everyone is included. We love people from all backgrounds. We just want to make sure that entrepreneurship is fair and is accessible to everyone. So we were created by a group of people from underrepresented backgrounds. It started off as a side of desk project to help people from backgrounds like ours build companies. And it's really grown today and without debt or investment. So we've been really fortunate. And our impact so far is that we've had 340K raised by our founders. We've had loads of volunteering hours. We've formed 86 startups. We've had 356 people graduate from our startup programs. We've had 62% participation by women and 47 businesses from our business accelerator have graduated. And we've got a very large community size of over 5,000 people and still growing. And we do what we do in 3 ways. The first is access. So we provide the help that's needed to allow people to get into entrepreneurship without having the money, the network connections, or even the knowledge. Second, we help people once they have started up to build up their businesses and accelerate them forwards. And then lastly, we make sure the voices of people from all backgrounds that are entrepreneurs are heard. We want to enable people in society to see role models that are diverse and that represent them. Most important of all, we build a community around everything we do. So many of you on this call are within the Foundervine community, and some of you will be afterwards when we sign you up and start pestering you with emails. But it's so important for founders to grow amongst other founders and like-minded people. And we think the time for Foundervine and what we do is very right now, because there is poor support for minorities, and that means there's a massive gap of opportunity with people that have the talent and the ambition to grow businesses. So we believe that it's a really good time right now, and technology has become easier, right? It's very easy to create a business now. It's very easy to market online, even using social media. It's easy to do your accounting using automated systems. Why shouldn't business be open for all, since it is easier? And we are coming on to an event where we're learning how to design an app prototype in a single day. So that shows you that things have changed, and that's why we exist. And also we believe that society cares about diversity, cares about equality. And I think you can see it kind of all in the media today and what's going on in America and spreading throughout the world. People want a fairer society. So please do follow us on social media if you haven't already. We've got a Twitter account, we've got Instagram, we've got LinkedIn, and we've also got a Facebook. So just type in @Foundervine and follow us. And feel free to share stuff that you have built today and tag us in it, because we would really love to see your creations. Okay, so tonight we're going to be learning how to design a prototype in a day. And you probably asked why this event. Well, maybe not you guys, but because you're already here, I think you should know why. But for us, it's the fact that there is a serious underrepresentation of people from different backgrounds in technology. And a lot of that time, people have this perception about tech that it's really complicated, difficult, unapproachable. And, you know, there is that barrier. We also are seeing a massive shortage of skilled technology people in Europe and across the world. And this problem is only getting bigger. We need to encourage people from all backgrounds to go into technology in order to fill this gap. And then lastly, there's a mystery behind designing and building an app. Like, we're all using them on our phones and we just don't know how they're built. You know, we just use them, but we have no idea of how they are conceived. So this event will help eliminate some of that. And we think this event helps because you guys are a diverse audience. We're reaching out to the masses, our community, and wider to invite to this event to help, upskill yourselves. Framer is a low-code platform, and for us, it's really approachable. And so we think it's really relevant and interesting for you to try out. We're sparking your interest in technology. Some of you possibly would never have come along to an event if I said we're building something using React or Angular. You probably don't even know what those things are, right? But we're not. We're saying non-techies are welcome. And hopefully we spark some interest in tech within those that previously didn't have one. And also we'll bring you some clarity behind designing and building an app. So that's why we have collaborated with Framer for this evening. We're really excited to bring this evening to you. The Framer guys are just absolutely awesome, each and every one of them, from Asha to Perry, just fabulous people. And I know you're gonna love it. So today is going to work like this. So we're going to start the Framer masterclass at about 6:10, or actually possibly even a bit earlier because I'm running early. And then at 9:10, we're going to have a break. Did I say 9:10? Sorry, 7:10. And then at 7:15, you're going to create your own prototypes, right? So hopefully you should have signed up for Framer online. If you haven't, it's very quick anyway. It takes a very short amount of time. And then whilst you're creating your prototype, Perry will be available to ask questions. So we'll do it together, right? It's basically a collaborative session. And then at 8:20, we'll have feedback session, and then we'll wrap up and we'll finish by 8:30. Does that sound cool to everyone? Yeah, I see some heads nodding. Thumbs up, brilliant. Okay, so I'm gonna hand it over to Framer. I hope you have a really good evening, and good luck to everyone. So over to you, Framer.
Nice. Hi, everyone. I'm Perry. My colleague Asha is also here. Hi. I'm going to share my screen and start my presentation. Can everyone see?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So we're Perry and Asha. Asha was kind of the one who brought this partnership together from our side. So thank you, Asha. And I'm Perry. My role at Framer is a product specialist. So I do a lot of these kind of trainings and help people learn how to use Framer pretty much. So yeah, our goal for today is to help you all get enough of a foundation that we're able to build something at the end. So if anyone doesn't have a Framer account already, oh, nice one, Asha. Yeah, just go to the Framer website and you can sign up for free. So if you're hearing the word Framer and you have no clue what it is, Framer is a prototyping tool. So that means that you can design from scratch in Framer, but also once you have designs, you can make them interactive. And we'll talk about why that is important, the importance of creating prototypes in the first place. Why do we prototype? So there's a few main reasons why prototyping is so important. The first one being prototypes help you pitch and sell ideas. So you don't need to hire an engineer or go really into code to build this vision that you have in your head. You can just kind of create something that shows what you're thinking to help you pitch your idea. So it's kind of like a nice first step, but it doesn't require that much time or effort. There's less back and forth when you have a functioning prototype. So instead of kind of showing how you think something should look, or like trying to explain to someone with words how two screens should transition, you can actually show them just with the prototype this thing that you're thinking in your head. So it kind of cuts down on the amount of meetings you need to have. You don't need to like be telling everyone what you're thinking. You just show them and get quicker buy-in that way through prototypes. And last most important reason for prototyping, I think, user testing. So like trying out different ideas, you need to get feedback from people, and it's hard to get feedback for hypothetical situations. You need to show them real interactions, real features in your prototype to get actual feedback from your users. So here's an example. Maybe this is 2 static screens in a design file. So let's say you have this and you're trying to tell someone like, yeah, I have this idea for an app, and like what I want to happen is when you click on this plus button, the menu expands, but it's like, how does it expand? Like what height does it go up? How does the plus circle move? You know, there's all these questions that someone can ask. And it's hard to present this and like be able to say, well, yeah, this is how it works in my head. Can't you just imagine it? But in reality, it's hard for people to imagine what you're thinking. So with Framer, we have different tools that allow you to actually create these interactions. So you can show people, like, this is what I want to happen when you click on this button. And we can just have it all in one prototype. So now, so that's kind of the power of prototyping, if you will. And so now this is what we're going to be going over today. So a few things in Framer that kind of make our prototyping easy. So the first thing we're going to talk about is something called magic motion. So this is a type of transition that allows you to go between screens, and it kind of does the work for you of how your transitions will look. So for example, if I click on this, you'll see Framer kind of animates different shapes. So you're not getting like screenshot, screenshot, screenshot. You're getting like really unique interactions that help an app you kind of are taking it to the next level with how you can make things look. And when people interact with this, they're like, oh, wow, like that looks really cool. It's really smooth. And you can customize these transitions however you like to just, create unique experiences for people. Next thing we're going to talk about are these interactive components. So another fun thing about Framer is you can actually have these components that people interact with. So if I want to type something, I can actually interact with these components and just use them in my prototype. And these are just really nice building blocks, that you can use to kind of, have people, if you're showing people for the first time, and they can actually type things and just experience the real ideas that you have. Another thing with Framer is that you can collaborate in real time. So let's say you have engineers that you need to give designs to, or even if you're at this event with someone right now, you can invite them into your file when you're in Framer and start working together. You can leave comments for each other, and you can just, in real time, just see what each other are working on, even when you're not in the same place. Cool. So any questions? That was kind of very high level, but any questions that have come up so far?
So is this app mainly to help you create, it's just kind of to prototype ideas as opposed to creating that final app?
Yeah, exactly. So this is just to help you get like that first MVP idea out. It'll look like the real thing, but it'll take you way less time to build it and just kind of help you pitch your idea and sell it to like those first stakeholders.
That's amazing. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, trying to switch up. I never use Zoom. Okay, so if there's no more questions, I'm going to dive into like our learning part. Sound good? Cool. All right. Okay. So, well, I'll start at the dashboard actually. Let's say we're in Framer for the first time. This is our dashboard. I'll just run through a few things really quickly. So yeah, we have recent files, drafts, tutorials. If you never looked at Framer before, highly recommend checking out some of these tutorials later. It'll just help you kind of dive in, just get started right away. We also have examples. So these are just a bunch of different example interactions. Yeah, there's like 50 of these. If you want to just explore how things are made, you can copy and paste these into projects, take them apart. Also a nice way to learn. Archive projects down here. And then these are teams. So you can have a bunch of different teams in Framer if you're working on different projects or working with different people. This is just a nice way to stay organized. So you can see I have a bunch of different teams and they can have different folders. You can have different folders within your teams just to help keep everything organized. Also with Framer, well, for those of you who said you have dabbled in design tools, you can import from Figma and Sketch if anyone's familiar with those. So if you already have designs and other tools, you can import them into Framer, keep building, and make them interactive here. Okay. Okay. Now we're back in Framer, and I'm just going to go through like the full UI of Framer just so we're familiar with where everything is. Starting from the left, left. Main menu, pretty standard. There's some fun stuff in here. If you like dark mode, you can change it to night mode here. Some people are really into that. If you want to move where your project is, if you want to change it to a different team, you can do that here. On the left-hand side, we have all our layers. So yeah, everything that's on your canvas, you can find it here. All your components you can find here, and we'll go into like what components are, what packages are a bit later. Another aspect of Framer is that you can code in Framer. You can do things fully in code if you want. I'm not going to teach any code today, but if you're interested, we have a lot of resources and we do have a lot of initiatives to help designers and non-tech people learn how to code. You can also start with examples. You can also, I don't know, email me if you want to learn more about code. I personally love to code, so happy to answer questions. Next up here, this is our insert menu. So this is kind of like the spotlight search of Framer. You can find everything you'll need to prototype from here. And yeah, I'll show some cool stuff from here later, like my favorite things from here, but we have frames. So any type of frame you want. So with Framer, you can prototype for any like device. I'm showing a lot of like mobile prototypes, but you can also do like websites, iPads, like for any screen size, Apple Watch. Also, if you're just designing like more marketing stuff, you can also do that in Framer. So we have like YouTube, LinkedIn, all that stuff here. Interactions. If you want to just quickly add like 2 screens, like an interaction without building it yourself, you can quickly add these in here too. But I'll also show you later how to hook up these interactions yourself. Next, we have the default components like I showed before. So these are just components from the Framer team. They have a bunch of properties, so they're really customizable. You can find, yeah, pretty much anything here. GIFs, icons, inputs, loading, just all this stuff. Pretty much if you search something, you'll probably find it here. Next are our project components. So similar to this component area over here, you'll just find all the components that are in your project. Next, we have team packages. So if you're working on a team, these are like your private packages if you only want to share things between your team and not have them be public. And then public packages. There's thousands of packages in here shared by members of our community. There's so much cool stuff. I'm going to show some of my favorite ones. But yeah, pretty much anything you can think of, like animations, sound, if you want your prototype to play sounds, different inputs, iPhone kit. There's just so much stuff made by community members in here. All right. Next, we have import. So again, this is how you can import from other tools. And then up here, these 5 are like the basic tools of Framer. So we have frame, stack, which is a layout tool, text, scroll, and page. And I'm going to show you how to use all of those, but these are like the main 5 tools of Framer. Next up here, we have commenting. So you can leave comments anywhere in your project. And if you're working on projects with people, you can like get emails when people have commented. So you're always aware like when you're getting feedback and stuff like that. Next, we have, handoff. So when you're making a prototype, of course, it's not the real app. So your next phase is probably going to be working with developers, engineers. So you're going to need to give them code. So with Framer, everything is code in the background, even if you don't touch code yourself. So if anyone's familiar with HTML, a frame is basically a div. So whenever you're creating frames, you're creating layouts visually, but it's code underneath. So now I have this frame here, and I'm able to hand off this code to a developer, and it'll just have all of the specs laid out. You can just copy it all in one. Next, over here, we have just different Zoom settings. People are in the chat. Oh wait, should I answer questions now? Wait, Asha, are you answering questions? Oh, Adobe XD.
Yep, I'll answer them.
Okay. I'll answer some at the end too. Okay, yeah, so also here we have rulers you can turn on and grids. If you like working with grids in your designs, you can also turn that on here. Nice. Okay, last part of the UI, this corner over here, invite. So this is where you can invite anyone. You can say like if they can edit or just view if you just want to show your progress. And this will be really important for tonight, I think, so we can all share our work. So this link you can share with anyone. And let's say, what do I want to share? If I just want to share this frame, I can open this up. This link, you can share it to anyone, even if they don't have a Framer account, which is really nice, just to show someone an idea. And this will be your fully functioning prototype. You can interact with it just like you would if you were in the canvas, but you don't need to have Framer. You can just send this out to share your ideas. Cool. Can you repeat where you have to go to obtain the... Oh, yes. So yeah, to get code, to hand off, you just click here, the handoff button at the top, and all the code here you can just copy in one click, just like that. Cool. Now, I'll show you some basic tools. So, Frame. Frame is used for everything. This is going to be your foundation, but also if you want to make buttons, if you want to make anything, you're going to start with a frame. So people coming from Sketch, you might be familiar with artboards and rectangles. Both Framer, everything is a frame. So if I want to like start creating layouts, you'll see the frames will be blue and have like a bit of opacity. So this is nice when you're just like wireframing ideas in the beginning and you want to see different layouts. You can just see how things look on top of each other. Another cool thing about frames, we'll go into some properties over here. So yeah, when you have something selected, all your properties will be on the right. With frames, so we can change how these look here, different fills, but also a fun thing, if you just need like placeholders, we have this Unsplash component. So this is how you can just search any image if you want to just find a quick placeholder, or you can just click random photo and it'll just input a random photo. So I always like to use this if you're just like experimenting with layouts. It's really nice. I'll give you, wait for it, random photo. Nice. Okay, so that's frame. Any frame questions? No. Okay. Next we have stack. So a stack is basically a frame, but with some layout functionality. So this is a stack here where all these pictures are in. And you'll see on the right-hand side, we have our stack properties. So now I can change how these images are laid out in the stack. So I can change the spacing, change different layouts, and also I can move these pictures around and they'll just pop into place. So if you have like a lot of pieces of content or a lot of videos and you want to organize them nicely in a grid, just use a stack. And if you want to like replace things, swap them, you know, it's just going to snap into place without having to like move 5 pixels up, move over. It'll just snap right in. Another way that I like to use them is, let's say, a common use case for this is like you have like, or you need to make like a menu or like a navigation bar, and you have your text or you know what you want to be in the bar, and now like, oh yes, I have to order everything, that's fine, but you can click stack, just draw this here, bam, you have your menu and it'll just snap into place. So you can just like corral all these items and it'll just put them in a line. Okay, next, oh wait, I skipped scroll. Next tool we have is scroll. So yeah, so a lot of times you'll have, especially with like mobile devices, you might have like a lot of content that doesn't fit in the actual screen. So for example, maybe I have this, and if I preview this, wait for it, it looks kind of weird because this isn't like the size of a phone, you know? So with scroll, we can take this, draw out the area that we want to be scrollable in the preview, and connect it to the long piece of content, and it will fill in like this. And if I preview this, this now scrolls, and we have this part fixed to the top, just like you would see in an app. There's also a lot of settings here too, so if you want like horizontal or vertical scroll, you can do that too. Cool. Next tool we have is page. So this is what you would use for like, if you want to make things swipeable or like a carousel type thing, like usually with pictures, you would use page. So we can connect to our images here. I'm just using images, but you can use frames, videos, text, anything you want. And Page has a bunch of different properties, so you can really customize this. For example, let's say I put it to cube here, and I'm going to preview, and now I have this cool cube interaction with the pictures. And I can change like cover flow. This is like for album art, you know, when you swipe through. Hopefully this is like not too laggy over the call. But yeah, you have a bunch of different effects you can change and just like, yeah, get crafty there. Oh, nice. Okay. So that's Page. So yeah, that's our last of the like the main tools. Now we'll get into some fun stuff. With the insert menu, I just kind of want to show you like how to take advantage, get the most out of the insert menu. So let's start with the default components. So default components are just the best, I think. They just, yeah, they're just so solid, so many properties. You can do so much with them, really make them your own, but also they're just super interactive right out of the box. So for example, let's break down this button component. If I preview this, you'll see it has a hover interaction and a click interaction already built in. And if I want to customize those interactions, I go to my properties here and we'll see the state. Right now it's on default. So this means I'm customizing how this looks right now on the canvas, just the default state of it. Let's say I change it to red. Cool. Can change font size. Can change the scale, so like how much it's hovering. We can also really fine tune like even small things about this interaction, like when it hovers, like all these crazy numbers. I can make like a crazy hover effect just by playing around with these different sliders here, and you'll see a preview. Well, I'll preview the button and you'll see how crazy this looks. But yeah, you can change a lot of different stuff. So that was for the default state. If I go to hover, so this is how the button looks when it's hovered. I can also change this. I can change the press state, and this button is going to look crazy, but I just want to show you, like, you can really customize every minute detail of this one button component. So now if I preview this, it's just like wild button, but yeah, it's fun. So yeah, same thing with the input. There's just a bunch of different properties. So you can just drag and drop these components, compose an interface, and then make it totally your own with all these properties. Nice. Okay. Another cool thing about the input, like the password setting right here is also really nice. If you're making like a login screen and you want to like fake a password, now it types in as these little password dots. That's nice. Usually comes in handy for login, of course. Next default component is the video component. This one's just nice because you can copy and paste URLs of videos if you just like, yeah, need to use any video upload, and also just a bunch of different properties here. If you want it to loop, if you want it to autoplay, you can do that all here. Next two packages. So this one is called, if you want to find it yourself, it's called Humans. And this is just, I just love this package. It's just so cool. So it's illustrations, but you can just customize these illustrations and make different, yeah, just make different people out of them. You can say like, oh, she's sitting, she's standing, she's left, she's right. So if you're just like, yeah, getting these ideas out here and you want to kind of make your designs kind of, yeah, a little cute, a little fun, this is just a really cool package. There's also another one called, I forget, there's more like this too, like different people packages if you're experimenting with like different kinds of illustrations. Yeah, I just got to search around for them. Another one, we have this Mapbox component. Also love using this one. You can change the map style, which is cool, but also you can put on a search bar and this will just work like a real map. So if I say London, it'll take me to London. This is, yeah, nice if you're, need something with a map and you can just fully customize your map to go in your prototype. Yeah. So I'm saying something? Oh. Okay. Last thing here is our interactions. So how do we actually go from one screen to next? So let's start from scratch. So let's say we have our frame or we have our first screen. How are we going to the next one? So there's this little blue knob, our little prototyping connector, and we can drag it around. So it looks like this little noodle here, and then click onto the next screen. And you'll see over here, we have interaction. So this is actually how you're gonna set what this looks like going from one place to another. So we'll say, we want this on tap. So that's more like for phones, or on click, and that's more for computers. And also like mouse enter, mouse leave, that could be on hover. So when you're just like mousing over something. We have the target. So in this case, the target is just where you're going. In my case, I haven't named this frame, it's just iPhone 11. And we have all these different types of transitions we can choose from. So if I click fade and preview this, it'll fade into the next screen. If I say flip, it will flip into the next screen. And we can also, again, change these settings to make like a really crazy flip. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can. We can do magic motion, which is the first one I showed you. This just animates things really smooth, especially if you have frames inside of frames and you want to like transition those from one place to another. Using magic motion is really cool because it'll just, I have this crazy animation. It'll just set things, it'll just take care of the work for you of like going from point A to point B. Next, down here we have two more types of transitions. So let's say you want to do like a modal interaction. So if you like click on something and you want like a little box to appear as an overlay, we can set this to modal. And then if I preview this, we get like this modal. So if you want to like show a tip or like have just like a pop-up, and then if I just click out of it, it'll automatically transition out. And our last one here is overlay. And again, this is nice for menus. You can say if you want it to come from the side, the top, or the bottom. Just a nice transition, usually for menus, but who knows. All right. Okay. I feel like if I did that kind of fast, you can just let me know. If anything's confusing, you can let me know. If anyone wants to see something again. No, we're good, I think. Okay, if we're good here, my question to you all is, there's two ways we can go here. One, do you want to build something together? We can just do like a quick 2-screen prototype together and walk through the steps. Or do you have more questions Are shapes just smaller frames? Yes, everything is a frame. Good question. So yeah, up to you all. Let's build together. I love that. Does that sound good? Should we build together? Cool. Okay. Oh, there's more. Building, nice. Okay. So we're gonna get to here, but first we're gonna start from scratch. Empty canvas, what do? First things first, we need a frame. So there's a few different ways we can get a frame. We can either press F, we can press the F key, and that'll give us this. We can draw it out ourselves. We can choose a device from here. We can also do insert. I like using insert menu for everything. So I'm just gonna pick an iPad and insert. I don't want you up here. Okay, so we have our first frame. Here's our starting point. Now let's make another frame because we're gonna just have two screens and transition from the first to the second. So there's a few ways we can do another frame. We can either do Command D, which will duplicate this, or if we just press F again, Framer will kind of recognize that you want to create another frame of the same size. We can just click that and it'll be on the canvas for you. So far, so good. We have our frames. Okay, nice. Next thing I want to do, okay. Next thing we're gonna show is I had this device down here. So this is really nice for presenting. If you want to just like show things with this like device frame, it just like looks a bit cleaner, I think, for presentations. So in order to get this, we're going to go back to our insert menu, default component, device, insert. It's going to default to a phone, but let's just connect that and set it to iPad or whatever frame you have. Okay, so far so good, I think, I hope. Nice. Okay, so in our first screen here, let's just do a login screen. That's usually a first place to start when you're making an app. So we're gonna start with an input. Insert that. So you'll see, and this is our first screen, but it's also being reflected in here because this is where we're gonna present from. So I'm gonna zoom in a bit here. And yeah, we'll just make like two inputs, like username and password. And you can get crafty with the visuals of it. We can say, for the placeholder, we can say like username. Here we can say password. And we'll set this to password. Let's also change the color, make it a bit more fun.
Would you be able to really quickly repeat the steps to get to the device frame?
Yes, of course. Okay, so we're in insert, so insert, default components, and then device right here, just the third one down, and then insert.
Thanks.
Nice. And then, yeah, you can just connect this to anything and it will present it. All right, just spice this up a bit more. Cool. So we have our username and password. Let's make a submit button, like a login button, and we'll just do that with the button component. insert that here. And to change the text, we can just say login. Also change this color. Let's make it, that's fun. Cool, getting somewhere. Does everyone have this? Was anything confusing yet? Okay, I think that means we're good. Okay, now up here, obviously this is going to be up to you. Like what's your company? What do you want people to see when they first get on your app? In some cases, it might be an animation, your logo, maybe a video. So I'll let you pick what you want. Maybe go for a GIF, video, just anything that kind of explains what your app is. I'm gonna do an icon because this is Framer icon here. But the nice thing about this component, if you just want to search for different icons, there's literally hundreds of icons here. You can just choose from different icons, pretty much anything's here. And you can customize these, you can choose the color. So yeah, if you just want to go simple, this is also cool. Just make different icons. Yes, you can import your own icon if you want. Yeah, you can copy and paste if you have an SVG. You can copy and paste into Framer. You can also copy and paste images if you just have your icon as an image, or there's also a bunch of different icon packages if you're familiar with feather icons, or if you want to just draw your own icon. We have this graphic. If we click in here and you want to get really, really designy and like play with all these points, make something crazy, you can also do that. So now we're in this graphic mode. Yeah, you can do stars. And a shortcut to enter into this mode, if you just press G, you'll be in graphic mode and you can do all this very intricate editing. I'm not the best designer and really bad at this kind of stuff, so I never use this part of Framer, but it's there if you want it. And just to show you how I got there again, from the insert menu, I went to default components and did custom icon. Nice. Okay. So we have our front login home screen of our app, of our website. How do we go to the next screen? So probably when we click our button, that's the most natural transition here. So we can actually create this transition from the button itself. So when you click it, you want to navigate to the next screen. So we're just going to click and it's going to go and it's going to give you some options. So I'm just going to say on click. When I click that button, I want to go to the next screen. And I want my transition to be flip. Okay, cool. Next screen. Oh, what kind of app do we want? Okay, I'm just gonna do like a photo type app here. It's just easy to prototype. So I'm gonna start with a few stacks and I'm just gonna like drag and drop items into here. So if we have 3 stacks, let's do that. Nice. So it'll say drop items, and I'll just I'll do some videos too, just for fun. just drag and drop in there. And we'll do some GIFs. Okay. That one, that's a bit disorienting to look at. Okay, this one I'm just gonna do an image. Basically, I'm just filling this page up with content. Like, think of it as, yeah, a portfolio or just showing off images and stuff. You can also get creative if you want to go off and create your own second app page if you already have an idea of formulating and you want to test some stuff out.
Can you demo how to import your own images?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, well, I can just show you. Let's see here. So wait, can you see I just opened something from my desktop?
No.
Oh dang, I don't have it shared. But if you just go into your Finder, if you have like an image on your desktop or something, and you copy an image. Okay. So you can't see it, but I just copied an image like from my Finder on my computer, and I'm just pasting it into Framer. So I just pasted this image from my computer. Can you see that?
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, you can copy and paste. You can drag it off from a website. You can also, if you have a frame, you can also upload. Yeah, just from here. So yeah, there's a few different ways to do that. We'll add that in there. That's fun.
And someone also asked about creating stacks.
Creating stacks. How are you creating stacks? Oh, good question. So I just clicked on stack up here and I just drew it out like this. And then when you have your items, just drag and drop it into the stack and it'll just pop right in. Okay, nice. Any more questions while we're in this phase of like how to do stuff, like if you're already thinking?
Sorry, could you just show me how you made the connection again between the two stacks?
How I duplicated it?
How you made the connection. So you know the little squiggly line that's connecting between the two stacks?
Yes. So if you select any frame or component, okay, you'll see this like lightning bolt kind of thing. Do you see that?
Yep, yep.
Nice. So you just click here and you'll see it kind of moves around. And when it finds something, so when I put it on this next frame, it'll like turn purple. And we just click there, click on click or mouse enter or mouse leave, and then your connection is made.
Perfect, thank you.
Got it? Nice. Can you insert emojis? Oh yes, you can use emojis. Well, and also there's a few different ways. So you can use this package, Tweemoji, which is yeah, these are like the emojis from Twitter, which I think are really cute. So I always use these. But you can also just use normal emojis if you're in a text layer. Let me come back to that. So if I'm just writing something. So the shortcut on a Mac to open this emoji panel thing is Control Command Space. This is just to open emojis anywhere, but it also works in Framer. Hopefully that's helpful. I don't know the shortcut if you're not on a Mac though, I'm sorry. But yeah, back to this package if you're interested in different types of emojis. This one, yeah, you can search for anything, search by emoji. Let's see if it'll find it. Yeah, then you just have these cute emojis. Throw that in there. Cool. Any more questions about how we got to these two frames or how I went from the first one to the second one? How do I add one image to the stack? Good question. Okay, so if I want to, I'll just do it with this little guy. If I want to add this to this top stack, do you see when I hover over here, like there's a line where you can actually drop things? So if I go in the middle of two things, you'll see this blue line, and that indicates that you can place it there. So now I've added it to that stack. It's in there. If I want to put it in this one, I can just drop it. And yeah, you don't have to have multiple things in a stack. You can just have one thing if you want to play around with the spacing just with one element. That's up to you. I think someone asked about interactions. Did you answer it, Asha?
I don't believe I did, no.
Okay, well, the interaction I'll just go over again because that is an important part. So right now our interaction is set on this button, and you can see the interaction section of the properties panel is over here. So right now, this is where our transition is set, and this is just going to occur when we click on the button. It's going to take us to the next screen. And right now I have this flip type of transition set. And yeah, you just do that all here when you have your button selected. Okay, I'm going to preview this so we can kind of see everything together. I preview this. Okay, so we have our iPad, their little iPad frame. We have our two inputs. So we can say like username, password, login. We click on that, and I had this flip, so it just flipped to the next screen here. Does everyone have that themselves, like this device with two frames and a connection in between?
Do you think people would anyone would like to share what they've done so far?
Oh yeah.
Would that be a good idea?
Yeah, does anyone have something?
Come on, guys, don't be shy. Shall I start picking on people?
Or you could share.
I could share actually. Let me share my screen. It's a really like little. Oh, you have to stop sharing. So
okay, that's fine. Yeah. I'll stop. You go.
Okay. So now it's where is it? Okay, here we go. So this is what I've managed to do listening to you, Perry. So here you've got building a startup main login screen, and then I've got my tree emoji on the next page. So let's see if this works. So I click preview, and oh, let's go to okay, blah blah blah. It just jumps to the screen. I don't know what I did. I think my interactions probably.
Yeah, it looks like you have an interaction on that image.
Okay, so how do I fix that?
Okay, click on your image at the top.
This one here.
It's on your second screen, yeah, on here.
This one.
Yeah. So you see you have a transition back, which is fine. You might need that. But you can remove it by going to the interactions on the right-hand side. And see that little X next to where it says transition? Yeah. So now that interaction's gone.
Oh, I think there's another one here as well then. This one here.
Oh yeah, you have one on your whole frame. So you can also remove that because you only need it on the button.
Okay, so
Nice.
let's try that now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that works. Awesome.
Cool.
And that's not working. Cool. Yeah, so that's me. So let's give it to someone else to share. I think people don't want to, that they're feeling shy. So maybe let's continue.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, going back.
Oh, we have one person sharing.
Oh, nice. Okay, I can share it. Well, I can share it on my screen if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Cool.
Okay. Nice. You even did the share link. Oh, cool. Nice. Oh, yeah. So another thing, you can see when I'm clicking in a random place on here, you'll see how these flash blue. So that's interaction highlight. So this is another helpful thing when you're sharing your prototype, because sometimes it's like, oh, like where's the first place I should click, or like what's the steps that I should take to interact with this prototype, or what actually can I interact with. So by clicking the places that are flashing blue, that's where you know you can actually interact with. Oh, nice. Loading indicator. This is sweet. Awesome. So yeah, they use the loading indicator default component. Also nice. Awesome. Cool. Okay. We're back. Does anyone else have any more questions here? Or I can keep showing off things that I think might be useful, or we can start building. What do we think?
I was wondering if there's a feature that allows you to see what apps might look, ads, might look like on the app, or if you just insert images, like placement images yourself to get an idea of what ads would look like.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess you could just, like, if you were, yeah, you could just insert images, like, just in there. I've never actually thought about that, but I wonder if we have any packages that, like, are mock-up ads or something. Because we do have a lot of random packages like that, maybe not. Yeah, I would just use images, though. That's an interesting point.
Thanks.
What kind of like app are you looking to create?
Well, I definitely want to utilize ad revenue to the best of the app's capacity.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like a food app, but I know there are different kinds of ads as well. Like there's like ones that create overlays, ones that are in between images and in between kind of content when you're scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was curious, but I think it can definitely be done anyway, just by creating your own frames and interactions, just to get an idea of what ads might look like, because obviously there's something that impact the user's experience, which would be really good to demonstrate when taking it to an investor.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you could definitely mock that up just, yeah, by doing different versions with different kind of ad layouts.
Thank you.
What else? Is there an ad image upload? Yeah, there is a way to upload images if you have a frame. Let's just see, we have a frame here, and you go to the fill on the right hand side and click on image, and then you can either drag and drop images into here or click choose, and then your finder will appear. I don't know if you can see it on mine if it's sharing properly, but yeah, then you can just select an image. Let's say I select this image of Asha, and then it will just appear on the canvas. Yeah, and it'll say, nice. Cool. Any more questions, or should we start building? Could you show that again? Yes, I could show that again. That's a good question. So starting from a frame, this is like the easiest way to just upload. And then we go to fill. So over here in the right-hand side, click this, then go to image, then go to choose right here, or you can just drag and drop from your desktop. But I'm clicking choose, and then just searching for an image. And then it uploads. Yeah, I don't know if you can actually see my little finder thing when I'm clicking, but yeah, that's the steps to get there. Yeah, the Framer is free and you get to keep these prototypes. Yeah, definitely keep building. Nice. Cool. Yeah, Framer is totally free, and you can invite people, make more projects, use this project, share this project, anything you want. Yeah, definitely.
Barry, can you show how to how people can share a link to their projects?
Yeah, so we can share, so you can share the actual prototype view, but you can also share the project link. So here you can say anyone with this link can view. So that means anyone could see into your project file. Maybe you want that, but sometimes you don't want to share your whole project with everyone. You can also say only collaborators can access. So this means only people that you've explicitly invited in here will be able to access the project link. And then you can just copy from there. And that's your project link. So that's going to show you in the canvas. But if you just want to share the prototype view, so just like that clean, more presentation view, you can get that link here. So there are two different links. And here you can say if you want that link to be private, you can manage the access here for that link. You can also say to hide the Framer interface once you're in there, which also makes it look a bit more clean. And then you can turn on and off those interaction highlights that I was talking about. And then this link to selected frame, this just ensures that you're starting on the right frame to like show the whole flow of your prototype. And then we can copy that link from here, and you can also send that to anyone. Nice. Let's check here. Can you show the code for the components? Yes. So let's look at, so yeah, I'm just gonna select a frame and go to handoff. So this is just showing me the iPad frame. If I select this input component, you'll see there's a lot of code here because you can actually interact with it. And it'll show you all the different properties that are associated with this component as well. But this also just helps your developers because now you have this really specific code related to the actual component. So yeah, you can just copy this and there is your input component formatted exactly how you have it in the canvas. Does that make sense? Also, another good thing to show is if I select something that has a transition, you'll see down here, there's also transition code. This is also really helpful to engineers because it's telling them exactly how the component should move. So because the component itself has these animation settings. So now your engineers know exactly how the component should behave in production. And we also have this library called Framer Motion. This is also getting a bit technical and probably down the road, but just good to know. Framer Motion is an animation library. So if you're a developer, you can use this library in production, and everything you create in Framer will have this code attached, so it can just go into production, and your engineers will just have all the code that they need to build it. Yeah, does that answer your code question? Okay, hopefully yes. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, so is everyone ready to build? Do you think you have enough? Do you need to see anything else? How do you link the button to the next page? Yeah, it's a good question. So let's say I have my button here. We'll start from scratch. So in this page, we have the button. I'm going to click on it, zoom in a little bit, and then I'm going to see this prototype connector, this little lightning bolt. If I click it, we'll see I have this arrow guy, and then just going to bring it to the next screen. So once I just touch that next frame, it turns purple to indicate that I can link to it. Just going to click and then say I want this transition to happen when I click this button. So I'm going to say click. And now the transition is set. And if I want to edit it or customize it even further, I can just click on transition, change the trigger here. I can also change the target from here if I want, but I have this frame set. I know that's where I want it to go. I can set the type here. I have it on flip. I can change like the direction of the flip and then customize this even further. If you want this to look a specific way when it's flipping, you can play around with all these different settings. Nice. Anyone else? Cool.
Just a quick one on what you just demonstrated.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to link, so I've got two devices on my screen. And you know, you said you can link the button to when it finds it, it will highlight it. Mm-hmm. So when I do that, it's not highlighting the entire device, it's just highlighting what's on the device. Like, for example, I have a GIF on there. So it's just, when I click on it, it just goes straight to the GIF.
And so you have like the button here and it's not highlighting on the frame? Exactly.
It's just highlighting just the GIF itself.
Interesting. And on the layers panel over here, is the GIF actually inside of that main frame? Can you see if they're like nested?
I think they're separate actually.
Okay, so if you put the GIF inside of that main frame.
Is that literally just a drag and drop from the side?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That works, thank you.
Nice, okay, cool. Okay, I'll let everyone poke around a bit more. For transitioning, is there a scrollable feature similar to TikTok? Oh, interesting. Okay, so there's a few ways we could do this. Okay, I'm gonna try to build out TikTok real quick. Let's try. Okay, so how I would do this is probably use, I would use a page tool. So I would, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna use a page, draw it out here. Well, actually this is huge. Draw it out like this. And let's say we have some TikToks over here. And I'm just gonna use like, yeah, some GIFs for that. And I'm going to connect, and I'm going to duplicate this so I have a few more, and connect these. Okay, so now I have like 3 pieces of content, and instead of having them swipe horizontally, I'm going to have them swipe vertically. So as you would scroll up on TikTok, right? That's how it works. Yeah. So you scroll up, it goes to the next one. Okay, let's see how this looks. Okay, so yeah, that's how TikTok works, right? You just scroll up and it fills the whole screen with content, and then it's auto playing the video. Oh, nice.
But you should use that cover flow, because that TikTok, whenever you flip it, it has like a little bit of an angle. That would change the wheels, the effect, cover flow a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly like the cover flow, but it's I've done it before.
I'm not a huge TikToker, you know. Yeah, probably like wheel. Yeah, one of these effects actually might be a bit more TikTok-y. Maybe pile. Does it have an overlap? But yeah, page tool is the answer to just kind of get that. Because scrolling, you know, it's like, it's just a normal scroll. You can like go back and forth. But with page, it's more like one whole piece of content to the next. Like you're just kind of flipping through these elements, not like dragging them down, if that makes sense. There's a bit of a difference, but you can also use them in really similar ways, especially because this can go vertical or horizontal. Yeah, we can also play around with different features here if you want to like create more of a gap in between, or like show content below the image. Yeah, there's different ways to do that as well. Chat, nice. Okay, looking good. How would you make a picture grid like Instagram? Nice one. Okay, picture grid like Instagram. So yeah, I would again start with a frame and then I would definitely use stacks because that's nice to kind of reorganize stuff. So let's start with, yeah, a few stacks like this. So I'm gonna do like just 3 of these here. But what I'm also going to do is put these stacks inside of a stack. So we're going to just have some stacks in stacks, stacks on stacks kind of action. Okay, so now we have 3 stacks and they're inside a stack. You can get pretty nested with stacks if you're doing like a bunch of layouts with different text, different like images, I highly recommend stacks. They just make life so much easier. Okay, and then let's say we have some little images. Definitely going to do an unsplash random photo for this, just because it's an easy way to quickly populate images. Drop that, duplicate that. Just gonna keep doing random photos. Cool, so there's one row done. And I'm gonna take one out here. Random photo. Random photo.
Sorry, Perry, how did you get the Unsplash screen to come up?
Yeah, so if I have just a frame, so I'll just start from a blank frame, go to fill, then go to image. So yeah, there's a lot you can do with this little image fill modal. You can choose your own, but also if you click unsplash down here, you'll be taken to like this whole unsplash thing. So you can also search for images. Like if you just want a very specific type of image to fit your app, you can search it. You can search for literally anything, but I always just do random photo because it's just a quick way to like fill in content if you don't really need it to be a specific thing. Unsplash. Nice. Okay, so we'll just fill in this for time's sake. But now we have a grid that I can rearrange vertically like this. So I can change it like this, but I can also rearrange these horizontally. So that's just a nice way to make a grid. Also, in terms of Instagram, I think we have an Instagram package. This is also an easy way to do this. If you insert this, wait for it, we have this package built out with a few different Instagram photo options. So this actually lets you embed images from Instagram. Hopefully it's still working, but yeah, we have a few, sometimes companies who are using Framer make these packages public. I think a few other companies have done this too, just because if they're prototyping in Framer, you can make things quick and easy. So yeah, this is another way to get images. I'm trying to remember how you get this code, but if you go on Instagram, you can get like this code from the URL of Instagram, I believe. I don't have Instagram on my computer, but yeah, and then you can just insert like real Instagram images from your feed. Yeah, we could also change the spacing in this stack to format it a bit more similar to how Instagram is set up, so like less space in between here. Another thing to make this interaction is we can also link from an individual image. So if you want to go like to the detail view of an image, let's say we want to look at this image closer. And then we have like our caption down here. We can transition from this specific image out to the detail view just by clicking on it, and then you'll see the prototyping connector again. And we can just drag it to the next. And for this, I would choose to set the transition from magic motion, since we're like transitioning from one object within the frame to another. So it'll kind of make this look a bit more put together, if we say type magic motion and preview this, let's see how it looks. And so it just kind of zooms up quite nicely, and I can also transition back to the main feed by clicking this transition, going back to where it came from. So now I have transition this way and transition this way, and I'm just going to set this back to previous will be the target because it's just going back from where I came from. So we'll just say back to previous. So now when I go here, we click on the image, it transitions, and then we can go back. So it kind of expands, then goes back, and yeah, just keep playing with that.
So Perry, we just passed 7:10, so want to give everyone a break. Any kind of instructions before the break, because we'll come back in 10 minutes and then it will be free work for everyone with the aim of coming up with a really basic app to show everyone. Yeah, definitely. We can take a break. Yeah, I'll say that during this, the work time, I'm just going to be here. So if you have any questions, please ask. I can demo things if you need like explanations. But yeah. Awesome, thanks. Okay, so 10-minute break. We'll be back at 7:24 or thereabouts, and then we can kind of kick off into building our own designed apps. So, okay, see you everyone in 10 minutes. And as Perry said, she'll be there if you have any questions. Okay, awesome.
Everyone's on break. Hi, Perry.
Hi.
How are you? I'm a bit of a slow one. How many people are still on the call? I wanted to share my screen.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, but it's just going to show your computer. Could you share Beverly's screen? Two of us are together. Beverly and Zadi.
Oh, can I allow that?
Yeah, I'll send you a chat.
Okay, that works.
Thank you. Sorry, no, we're making it a bit complicated.
Oh, Louise. I didn't know you were here, so I was like freaking out because I was like, oh, I've got to report this back to the co-founders.
No, I've been here. I said your WhatsApp, you didn't get it because you were on the call.
Oh, sorry, my phone's charging. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It takes away so much pressure.
It does. I'm learning so much right now.
Oh, nice. That's really good.
So much. I'm like not a techie person, but I'm still learning a little something.
Good. I'm like worried because there's so much that you can do with Framer, but it's so hard to like know what will actually help everyone in this 1 hour. So I'm like, it'll be like the coolest things. But seriously, if you like go in the insert menu and just like search, there's so many public packages that are cool. There's just like so many creative ways you can use the tools that like aren't how you use them in the first place. Like, yeah, so I hope I'm explaining everything good enough.
Hi, Perry. So Beverly's the one that's asking you the question.
Okay.
Are you able to share
Beverly
invite my screen?
I'm like, I don't think I can.
It says host disabled participant.
Oh wait. Okay, try it now.
Okay. I'm just really glad that you're recording this. Wow.
Oh, brilliant. So I'm So like Lou said, I'm not a techie person. But like, okay, I've come this far. It's really embarrassing because you have like experts in this call.
Yeah, I know there's some really good people. But it just means that these are people we need to network with then.
Yeah. So if I were to insert another frame.
Yes.
And we said that if we want something to link, we have to, because I'm using Windows as well, so I find some of these instructions may not be working in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to link, for example, where it says Hello Framer, I would want that to obviously be a login button to link to this frame. Yeah. I was transition, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Okay, so it looks like, can you move that device? Like move?
Is that what's causing me the issue?
Yeah, so the device itself is just like a presentation device. Like it's just there to look good basically, but you're not going to do anything from that component. So you'll do everything just from the regular frames and it'll show up in that component automatically.
So sorry, I was struggling with that so long. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll stop swearing.
How do you find the cute illustrations again?
Oh yes. So okay, I'll go back to share. Share. If we go here and then go to Hue. Oh, I'm searching in the package. Yeah, the package is called Humans with 3 N's. I already have it inserted, so it's like searching in the package. But if I go to team packages, oh, maybe this will work. Humans, here we go.
Amazing. Okay.
There's also another one that I wanted to show you. Oh, I spelled that. Undraw. Oh, this is also a good one.
Oh, cute. Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah, so yeah, the humans one is just people, but oh yeah, this one's also cool. I should show this to everyone. This is just like hundreds of illustrations. So if you go here, there's just like hundreds of random scenarios, like literally so many. If I say like in love, it'll have this random illustration and I can change the accent color to anything.
Oh, that's so cute. Are there any issues around copyright and stuff like that? So if you've got so many people using this prototype and then they take the code and then they take it to an engineer and then they generate something, there's obviously going to be like some similarities between different apps and things like that. How do you work your way around that and kind of create, obviously you can make them look, you can change them to go with your color scheme and things like that, and
yeah,
make them unique. But how do you like make them so unique that they can't kind of be linked? I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
No,
but
I totally agree, because like, yeah, anyone could just use this illustration. But so the illustrations themselves are like free and open source, so anyone could download them like off the internet anyways and use them. Yeah. So yeah, this way, like for example, with the human, oh, why does it keep searching in there? With the humans one, actually with both of these packages, so Pablo Stanley is the illustrator who actually created this whole like guide of illustrations, and then we collaborated with him to bring them into Framer, so like he knows that they're in Framer. And same with the Undraw one, it was like a collaborations just because they were free to use anyways, and we thought it would be helpful if they were also available in Framer, because you could like copy and paste the images from the internet, but now they're also customizable, so like anyone can use them. But yeah, it's like, I think that comes down to just personal preference. Like, you know, maybe you could have the same illustration as someone, but there won't be any legal reasons, at least, because they're like put out into the world by one person and he said that they were free.
Okay, thank you.
How do you do borders like in between?
Sorry, Perry. Are there any sort of like templates that Frame already have that you can use and edit?
Kind of. Like, okay. Oh, if only the Voyage was out. We have a few things that can like act as templates. So for example, this Framer base kit is a nice example. It's a set of components, but like they already have kind of a theme and go together nicely. So it's just a good starting place.
Okay.
Also, this Learn design system it's also components, but also it kind of gives you like a design starting point that you can customize like things that go together. But yeah, in terms of actual like breaking, also like checking out the examples can kind of give you a template. So let me go through some examples. Actually, that's a nice place to start as well. So yeah, let's say we want a to-do list. You can just click on that and it will give you a to-do list already made. So you can start from examples, like work from there, take apart like the pieces that you like from these examples and use them in your prototypes as well. But yeah, this is also a nice kind of, not a template, but just like a building block.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, so we should be back from break now. So the next section will be about everyone building their own basic app. Perry, do you have any guidance for people on what to build? Just something simple that they can build and show everyone at the end.
Okay, let's think of some guidance. I would say first thing, it doesn't have to be a mobile app. Like you can also get creative and try some desktop stuff, maybe go for a website. Also, I mean, you don't have to focus on like the number of screens. Like even if you have like just one solid screen with like some nice, a nice layout and stuff, like that's also cool. Or just like two screens linking together. Also, it's nice to just like wireframe ideas. Like if you don't have a solid idea for content yet, like it's nice to just kind of experiment with layouts and like think about how different things will fit on a page. Like I think that's also a useful step in prototyping.
Thanks, Perry. Okay, so yeah, I guess you're free to build whatever you want in the next hour or so, and then we will keep checking in with you. But at 8:20, we should be wrapping things up. So round about sort of 8:10, we'll link back with you to see what you have been building. But all this time, Perry will be on the call, helping you and sharing tips on how to do things. And guys, please don't feel afraid to ask the most basic questions. Bearing in mind, this is the first time you come into contact with Framer, and she is an expert, okay? Like, I don't think anyone expects you to be as good as her or anyone on the call. Just basically go at your own pace. If there's something you want to know, just ask. Don't feel shy. That's what you're here to do after all. You're not here because you are experts. So yeah, take it away and let's see what you build.
How do I get two humans in a frame? There's a good question. Okay, so oh, my computers don't crash. Okay, while everyone was on break, I also showed another package. If you're interested, it's just another illustration type package. It's called Undraw. So if you search in the insert menu for Undraw, you'll find it. And so the first one I showed with the humans, that was just like one person. Yeah, it was just illustrations of a single person. But this one has illustrations of different scenarios. So there's just a bunch of different like scenarios. Like this one's called Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And it's just two girls. And you can change like the what's it called? Primary color of the scene. So like to match with your branding or whatever. And you just have illustrations ready to go.
How do you get your if you use like a random graphic, so if you start with a star and then you create a graphic, how do you view the whole graphic and how do you make the whole graphic visible? Because it's only showing the small bit within this, the graphic square. I don't know how to extend it to the whole shape I've created.
Okay, so I'll start from the top of like editing a graphic and we'll see. So did you start from the custom icon here?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start from there. No. Custom icon, insert. Okay, so here's our graphic, and to enter into editing it, you double click. So now we're in this graphic mode. Sometimes it can happen that you move this inner part like outside of the frame. So then when you click out, you'll only see this tiny part.
Okay.
I think that might be what you did.
Yeah.
So if you just double click again and you get back to this editing mode, and you can tell because everything turned green, that's how you know you're like in the graphic editing mode. And then drag it back in. And then when you click out, it should be back in and aligned.
Thank you.
Did it work?
No, because I've created my image, so I maximized my image when I was creating it outside of the box. So I think I'm gonna have to start from scratch and maximize the graphic box from the beginning.
Oh, gotcha.
But at least I know now. Thanks.
How do you get speech bubbles? Speech bubbles. Oh, are you talking about like this thing, like the typing thing? Maybe that's what you're talking about. If that's the case, we can go to, it's also a default component, and it's called loading indicator. It's these 3 dots. So like, I think, yeah, sometimes that indicates that someone's typing. So we can insert this. This also has some different properties. So you can change it to dots, or you can change it to, this is like material design. It's like a design system. This is like the spinning loader thing, or iOS. This is like, you know, the classic iPhone, Mac loader thing. And yeah, that's how you get that. How do you get your custom logo to fill a frame? Oh, that was the same thing. So if you're in custom and you have, yeah, so also sometimes it can happen if you want to, you can expand this. Okay, so you have to make the frame, how should I explain this? To change like the actual size of the frame, you are not going to be in the graphic mode. You're just going to click on this and expand the frame, and that's how you make the actual frame bigger. If you want to change the size of this, when you click on the graphic and you're actually in this mode, I think the easiest way is to do it here, and then you're like changing the size of this actual icon. But yeah, the frame you change when you're outside of graphic mode. The actual graphic is when you click and you're in this green graphic mode. I hope that answered the question. Graphics are tricky, I'm not gonna lie. It does take like some getting used to having these two separate modes. Oh yes, sorry. I didn't mean to drag it like that. Okay, so I'm just expanding this box just to get a bigger box. I'm going to click here, and if I hold down Shift and change the size, it will keep its dimensions. So that's one way to change it. Otherwise, I recommend just doing it from here if you know the exact size you want your icon to be. And then you'll also keep your dimensions. Also, if you put this lock on, it will make sure they're the same size. So that was huge. How do you change the size of text? Okay, if we're in a text box, so we're typing here, one way is to just drag out the box. Another way is to select the text, go down here, and then you'll see size, and you can just drag this. How do you change the size? Text size box isn't working. I must be doing. It could be that if this is set to fixed, if your height is set to fixed on your text box, then it won't work. It needs to be on auto, and then you'll get this option to drag it. Nice. Is there a way you can import fonts? Yes, you can import fonts. So if I have my text box selected and I go to font down here, so we have all these fonts. We also have Google Fonts, if you're familiar with Google Fonts. And then we also have custom fonts. So to use a custom font, you do need to be on a different plan, unfortunately. But you have to move your project to a team, and then you can insert your own custom font, like if your company has a font that they created. But more times than not, you'll be able to find the fonts that you need from Google Fonts if we don't already have the fonts already. Can you insert your own videos into frames? So frames are just for images. So you can only choose images to insert. But if you want to use videos, the way to do that is to go to the insert menu, go to your default components, and then go to video. And then this will insert a video, and this little surfer video is just a placeholder. But if you want to upload your own, you just click this upload right here in the properties and then go to choose file. And then you can insert any video that you want. It'll upload. And there we have a video. Nice. And if you want to see the video play on the canvas, you can also do that here. If it's like, if it helps you to see the video moving within the actual design, you can play it here. Although sometimes that gives you a headache from staring at it too long, so I always turn it off. But it's there if you need it. Cool. Another fun prototype tip, organization tip, is we have this sticky note component, and I use this for everything when I'm like, especially when you're working with people or like deciding things in early stages, is insert this sticky note, and like you can put it on your designs and like, yeah, say like, this look okay. And it's like, I think it's more fun than comments, and it also just like is how you would work if you're just on like pen and paper, so it's just kind of a nice thing to have. And then you can say if you'll show it or hide it in preview, so it might be on your canvas, but if I actually preview this, then the sticky note's gone. So it just like helps you kind of figure out things when you're working in the canvas. How do I add multiple pictures to a stack? Every time I add one to the 3 stacks, it just turns into a rectangular picture. Interesting. Okay. So I'll show you how to add one picture, and then we can see maybe what you're doing wrong if you have like a property turned on. So I'm going to get my image. Okay, so I'm just gonna drag and drop it in here, and that should be, it's just in the stack now. And these are the properties that I have set on this stack. So yeah, right now, nothing. Maybe do you have it in a page? Because that can sometimes distort how your image looks. It shouldn't do it in a stack though. I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's no setting that would cause it to do that. But if you have it in a stack, maybe. So where's my page? Oh, so yeah, page or scroll will also change the width of your images. So that could be what you're doing. Let me see. I didn't. Ah, okay. I just copied it into the stack. Gotcha. But yeah, also for reference, the scroll will change the size of your images, so make sure your scroll area is the same size as the actual content. Nice. Another prototype tip for presentations. This is really cool. So we have our device components to preview things, but there's also a few other components made by community members to like show things off really, really cool. This one's called Mockmatic. So it'll give you like these actual device frames instead of just like the kind of fake ones that we have in the device component. So I'll show you how to hook this up. Just, you know, if you're making a splashy presentation, trying to get someone to buy your idea. Always fun. Mockmatic. And if I connect it, loading. My computer's going so slow. But this one, oh, it doesn't do it anymore. No. Oh yeah, so we can say like, it's like if you had a light box, like a light studio, you can select the kind of iPhone that we have. You can say like gold iPhone. You can set the lighting, set like the environment. You can set the reflection, just choose all this stuff. And we can like angle the phone to have like this cool presentation. These mocks. Are these mocks part of the upgraded package? Yeah, so I just searched for Mockmatic, and everyone should have access to this. It's just in the public packages, and you can install it and use it in your projects. But yeah, I just think it's fun to play around with. It's also cool to see like how your designs look in different phone angles and just like experiment with how they would actually look on a real phone. Can you add a drop-down box with a list to countries? Drop-down box with a list to countries. Yes. So you could make this yourself. You can, yeah, just make a list, but that's probably not what you want. You can also search for drop-down in the public packages. And there's a few like web UI kits that will have like a drop down component within them. You can also do like from the map box, like if you also use this search, if you need it for a map, like this has a drop down list of countries built in. So if I preview this, I have my search. Go. Like this drop down is already built in and created. Drop down box the list to countries. Can you have the map search without the map? Ah, okay, so without the map. Okay, so we can like try to recreate just the search box. There's a few ways you could do this, but first I would start just with a long list. And I would just do a text of a bunch of countries. London. Paris. What's that? Amsterdam. Okay, yeah, so let's say this is our list. I'll put it like here. So one way you could do this, we have 2 frames, we can kind of fake this interaction. So let's say we have another frame up here, and we have like a drop down component. So I'm gonna do icon set and do chevron down. So this kind of indicates that it's a drop down. So on this frame, we could have it like this and transition to this drop down. So let's say when we click on this, we want the list to drop down. You can just move that over here. Preview this. Now we just have this drop down, and I can transition back so we can like open and close it. Back to previous. And we just want this to be instant. And now we have a drop down. Cool. Could also flip this. How can I make a title? Title. So yeah, I would just use a text box and create something up here. You can also, yeah, if you want to have like, title up here, you can also like transform your text with these properties. So if you wanted to have it all uppercase, you can transform it there. Capitalize, it'll just automatically transform the letters for you. You can also change the style of your font. If you want to make this look more like a title, maybe you want to have extra bold, you can do that from right there. How did you get the text box? So up here, it says text, and you just click on that. So you know the tool is selected when it turns blue. And then when I'm in the canvas, now I have this like text cursor. And then if I click, I'll see like the flashing cursor, and I can just start typing. Another way, oh, okay, got it. Nice. Also the shortcuts, if you want to start typing, you can just press the letter T on your keyboard, and it will automatically put you in the text tool.
Sorry, I may have missed this. But how do you undo?
Undo.
Is there a way to sort of just undo? So if you made a connection or you don't know what you've done and sort of just ruined everything, is there a way to just go back?
Yeah, you can do Control Z.
Okay, perfect.
Or Command C, yeah. But also specifically if you create an interaction, like I know this can be tricky to figure out how to remove an interaction. Yeah. So if you have the thing selected that has the interaction, if you just go over here, it's this tiny X, and just click that, and then it'll delete.
Perfect, thanks.
Speech bubbles. I'm trying to think what you mean, like by speech bubble, like so like if you're talking to someone on WhatsApp, there might be a component for it if you search, or an icon if you search in the icon set for like a message icon. I'll try to think of another place that a speech bubble might be. What is the point difference between stacks and frames? Oh, this is a good question, actually. I thought stacks went into frames to add components, but every time I move things, the stack is still there. So yeah, so stacks are basically frames with more properties. And also you don't have to use stacks if you don't want. But yeah, basically, and also it is true you can turn a frame into a stack. So if I have a frame set and I decide that I want it to have these layout properties as I'm working, I can click this stack button and it will turn into a stack. But I can also remove the stack from here as well if I just click off. Wait, let me read the rest of your question. Stacks, I thought stacks went into frames. Every time I move things, the stack is still there. Oh, maybe you're actually not placing the components directly in the stack. Frame equals stack. Almost. So stack, if we're talking like more code terms, a stack would be like CSS flexbox. So it's more like a layout formatting type thing. Not necessarily a span, but it's more like CSS, like more formatting. So that's why you can think of like a frame can have stack properties, just like a div could have CSS layout properties. Does that make sense? I think so.
If you wanted to have text that kind of like automatically moves to the next piece of text, so if you had one screen and you had a piece of text but you wanted the screen to be static but the text to move without someone having to click on it to scroll, is there an option for that?
Oh, this is hard to envision. Okay, can you repeat it one more time?
So you know, on like PowerPoint, for example, if you put a piece of text but you don't want to have to click on that text for it to transition to another piece of text.
Oh, like automatically transition after a certain amount of time?
Yeah, whilst also staying on the same page. Is that possible?
Also staying on the same, oh, like a yeah, like a slideshow.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. You can do it if you go from screen to screen. Yeah, I don't think you could do it by text in the same frame. You could only do it if you moved from frame to frame. So if you had like multiple.
Yeah, so if I had the same frame, just kind of, yeah, I see what you mean.
Well, let me think. Oh, this is a challenge.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, like unfortunately, the only way you could do it is like with code, I think. Like you'd have to code something unique for this interaction. Yeah, right now we just don't have it available.
I'm using a component called animated text, and it sort of allows for that. So you can say what kind of animation, and it happens on the page.
Oh, that's amazing. How did you get to animated text?
I just looked for animated, and then I just went through the different kind of things that you could do.
Amazing. Okay, I'll try that.
Does this allow you to go from different text boxes?
So it's the same piece of text, and it can have multiple states. So like, go blue to white to blue to like or something.
That's cool to know, though. Thank you.
No worries.
That's really cool. But also, if I'll just like explain how to do this from frame to frame, because this also does work like if you're doing presentations and you have this instant transition, it will look like you're still in the same screen with even though just the text is changing. So you can kind of fake this. But I'll just show that real quick in case maybe it solves your need. So this is a little Framer hack. We go to the insert menu again, as always. Gonna go to default components. Gonna go to loading indicator and insert this. But don't worry, it's not going to actually appear here. We're gonna make it invisible. But the reason we use loading indicator is because it has this special property. So if I have my loading indicator selected and I'm gonna transition from there, you'll see there's this different property called timeout. So I can click timeout and we'll see, yep, we have the timeout. We want to go to the frame. Yeah, sure, duration. Okay, so timeout's up there. So we set it in the properties, also timeout. We set the amount of time. So this is seconds. So we'll say 2 seconds. And you can choose if we want it to fade out or not. But I think in your case, you would want it to not fade out because it'll just be like an instant transition. And then finally, we can make the dots 0% opacity, so they won't show up at all. So you won't even know it's there. But if I preview this now, wait 2 seconds, and the text transitions automatically, and I didn't click anything.
Could you do that one more time? I was literally just typing and I missed that like transition point.
Yeah, there's a lot of steps there. So I'll also make these like in exactly the same position. So, okay. And I'll start from here. Okay, so first thing I did is I took the loading indicator.
Yeah.
And then just place that on here. Get rid of this. So this is just in my first screen. We only need it in one screen. I'm gonna drag this to the next screen. And now I have timeout as one of the options, and I'm gonna click timeout. And then down here in the loading properties, we have 2 different options, infinity and timeout, but we're gonna choose timeout. And then you can set the amount of time. So I just did 2 seconds. And then we can choose if we want it to fade out, yes or no. And I said no, so it's just an instant transition. So you can't really see anything's happening. It just will go from one text to the next. And then last, we set the opacity to 0, so you don't even know that it's there. Preview that, wait 2 seconds, and it transitions.
Hey, that's so cool. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna duplicate what I've done.
Nice.
Change the text. Thanks so much.
Yeah. How do you preview? So to preview is this icon up here, the preview icon, or you can do the shortcut, which is Command P or Control P. But yeah, if you just click that, then your preview will pop up. How do you create a template for a personal profile? So for a profile, I would start with a like MacBook frame since you're designing for desktop. And then just Yeah, I mean, the design part is up to you, of course. But yeah, I would definitely start with probably like a menu bar. So if we go up here, I would do like contact, and what else is in a profile? About, and like work. So then you have like nice menu. Yeah, I'll start with that. And then maybe say, do like an image of yourself. Let's see if we have one. I'm gonna pretend I'm Asha. Cool. Maybe make it a circle. And yeah, then let's say we want to have different pages. So if I go duplicate that, we could have our work page. So when we click on work, if we want to link a text, it needs to be a frame first. So I'm just going to add a frame around this text box. And I did that by pressing Command Enter. And now we have the prototyping connector. So we can link and go there. And something nice, maybe to indicate that you're on the work page, you could like, let's like change this so we can see like what page we're on. You link different buttons in one frame to a different page. Different buttons. Okay, yeah, so yeah, this is a good example. If we want to link like all these different menu items to different pages, if it's text, you have to make sure that there's a frame around your text. So right now you'll see I have no prototyping connector on this text box. So a shortcut to make sure there's a frame around your text is to press Command Enter. And now I have a frame. And then you'll see the prototyping connectors there. And then let's just make another page here. I'm going to link my about. Where's my connector? There we go. So now you have 3 different pages. And I'll say, yeah, this is the about page. And I'll indicate that. So now when I preview this, work goes to the work page and about goes to the about page. Nice. How do I increase the number of images in a stack to 4 instead of 3? So let's say we have our stack. You can put as many things in here, even though it kind of does make it seem like you can only put 3 things, but you can actually put however many items you want. So let's say we have this frame. I'm going to drop it in and duplicate it 4 times. You can change the width of this stack, but also if you want to change the spacing inside, you can say like you want it to go to the start and then change the gap this way. So this way you could like add more items if you want by just like making a smaller space in between. So yeah, you can do that all here. Say you want them centered. Yeah, but you can add as many things as you want, even though the blue boxes make it seem like it's only 3. Can you make the menu appear on every screen, or do you have to copy it over? Yeah, so I just duplicated this main page once I had it all set up. Yeah, I would just copy and paste it and it'll show up the same.
Guys, so we're just arriving at 8:10. I just want to get a sense check of how many people we have that want to show their screens. And we're not looking for anything super complex, just like what you've been doing since you have been working on your basic prototype. Do you want to just write in the chat me if you want to share, and then we'll just go in order and you could just walk us through what you've done. Or if you tried to do something and you failed and you want to walk us through how you failed at it, then also put your name in the chat, just say me. But yeah, we're just looking for anyone to show what you've been up to basically. How do you share? So you should be able to share on Zoom by just saying, clicking on the share screen button at the bottom, but just let us know before you share.
Also, if you're looking like specifically for that.
Oh, that link. Okay.
Yeah, maybe either or, but
is that a better way of sharing on the call, do you think?
Yeah, I think this will be easier to see.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. Up to you all. But if you do want to do that and just like show the prototype, make sure you just have your first screen selected, then go to share, then say open prototype or copy that link.
Okay. I think Harry shared something in the chat.
Harry, do you want to present it yourself or do you want me to? Because you can go for it. Okay, I'm sharing for Harry. Cool.
Wow, check that out.
Nice. Okay, so we have this guy. We have a little login. Password. Oh, whoa. Midterm exams. I'm guessing you're a student maybe? This looks really cool. And we can go to the next. Oh, cool. We have like a little messaging app. Nice.
Was Harry working on this before the call? Like, I'm a bit surprised.
Nice. Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Wow. That is really nice. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else want to share? Kimberly and Louisa, I get the feeling that you want to share.
I was thinking of sharing, but I've literally, it's so basic, but I'm really happy I just did what Perry had just shown me with regards to the transitions. I can show you that, but it's literally so basic.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. I want to see.
Okay, let me just. How do I share it so that it's not just a small mobile in the corner?
Do you see in like the top right hand corner, there's like this share icon right next to that? Yeah, that one.
Oh.
Yeah, and then open it there.
Okay, so you have to look at the small bit of text because that's what changes, and that's literally it.
Okay.
Yay!
Nice.
Did you miss it? And then I just did the like little hover buttons, but I actually spent most of the time trying to make this like little background graphic, which is very it looks so simple. You can't tell the effort I put into trying to make this little curve here. But yeah. So that's what I have so far.
Perfect.
I think that's great. I think you've also like taken the hack that Perry showed you and like implemented it really well.
Yeah.
That is really good progress.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was in the process of trying to make it for the other bits of text, so it transitioned between 4 little bits of text, but I didn't get that far. But thank you, Perry. Your advice was amazing.
Nice. I'm glad it worked.
Awesome. Okay. Anyone else? Really good stuff from Harry and Kim. Anyone got one screen to show? Just one screen?
Oh, we got one more.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Amaka. Okay. Amaka, how do you want to share? Do you want to share your screen, or do you want to put the link in? Yeah, we're expecting it to be basic. I think there's only so much you can do in an evening, just you know, after learning a tool for the very first time, right? Don't know how to share the link. Do you want to show on your screen again, Perry?
Let's do that.
So, yeah, Amaka.
This icon right here is a little arrow, and you just copy the link from here. Make sure it's not private though. That's a key. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, sorry, I went too fast. No. Okay, it loaded. We got it. Okay, question bank, revision notes. If I click this, go home. Oh, cool, we have a menu. About us. Oh, nice. Oh, and you even got a scroll? Oh, this is so nice. Back to question bank. Oh, so cool. Back to home. Log in. And even a login? Oh, cool. This is great.
Yeah.
No one is judging you. This is so awesome.
I thought you said it was basic, Amaka.
Yeah, you got everything in here. Oh.
Yeah, we've got time for one more. So Tashani wants to share. Yeah, please do. Amaka, that was great. I don't understand why you guys are just embarrassed of sharing. And Kim, can you put your link inside the chat so we can get the URL?
Well,
Thank you.
so cute.
Oh.
Oh, I went too fast. Okay, starting from the top. Oh, I love this little cart and the little bubbles. The username, I clicked that, but it went our spaghetti. Oh, I'm so hungry. Our map. Find the nearest spaghetti. Yes, please. Oh, this is great. I love this font. Awesome. Oh, so cute.
Nice. Really nice. I think one more share from Van. Sorry if I've mispronounced your name.
Do I have a link or are they sharing their screen?
Do you want to post a link in there?
One sec. Oh, this one's from Joyanne. I'll just share it again. Oh, you had added the device though. That's a nice touch. Nice. Oh, these are also fun. Sweet. Oh, you have so much more.
Oh no. What? Wow.
Oh, what?
Nice.
I love this little photo collage.
Yeah.
So sweet. Okay, we got one more. City Hunt. Nice. What's your name?
That looks very professional.
Yeah, look at this. Oh, cute.
Wow, look at that.
Nice. Where are you at? Did you see that? That was fun. Feeling spontaneous? Yeah. Also feed me. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, this is like a full idea. I'm gonna do it again. City Hunt. Oh, that was the animated text. Nice use of animated text.
Yeah, so like ultimately it's to tell you what to do in a city rather than looking for yourself. So you just kind of click, I want to do this. Only Educate Me works right now, but
this
that
is
was
awesome. I would use
that. Maps.
Sweet.
Wow. Thank you everyone for sharing. And Perry, I just don't know how you're able to come up with things so quickly. You just like find a workaround to anything. Yeah, really impressive that. So guys, I want to just quickly run through a survey of how you found today, just to get an understanding of how this session was. I think it was useful. I definitely think it was helpful. But what do you guys think? So I'm going to share my screen. I want you to join a Menti again. And we just want to get some feedback from you guys on how it's gone. So please do join. It's www.menti.com and use the code 101967 or 6. Again, for those of you that know how to use QR codes, just point your camera at the screen and it should just take you to this website. So please join, and then click the love heart so that I know you're in here. Yeah, okay. Can we get a few more people joining? Okay, cool. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Right, so just a quick question. Which had you heard of before this event? So before this event, which one had you heard of? Had you heard of Framer? Had you heard of Foundervine? Both? Neither? Okay. It's really interesting. Quite a lot of people heard about Foundervine, obviously, because we were promoting it heavily through our networks. But it's lovely to see that there are some people that hadn't heard of both Foundervine or Framer. All right, how would you rate the evening? So you've got 4 different axes. So fun, difficulty, what you learn, and then also how your tech confidence has been boosted. So just rate the evening along these 4 axes. There are statements. So say if you strongly agree or strongly disagree, just to get an understanding of where we are on those scales. So, right, loads of people had fun. Loads of people learned how to design an app and some good boosting going on. Okay, it's not as difficult as, it's not as difficult as I thought many people could find it, which is a testament to Perry's excellent teaching skills. Okay, brilliant. And in a single word, how would you describe the evening? So how would you describe the evening in a single word? How would you describe the evening? Awesome. Learning, okay. Dream come true. It's lovely, encouraging, constructive, amazing, empowering. Love it. There's some new words I'm learning. Merriment. Poppin'. That's like an American word, right? Poppin'. Awesome. Okay. It's really good, guys. And if we hosted another evening like this, would you come? Yeah. Nope. Not sure. So would you come? It's all anonymous, so you can be honest. Great. All right. So overwhelmingly, yes. Seems like there is a strong appetite for this kind of knowledge. Given the short amount of time you guys have had to play with Framer, I'm really, really impressed. Honestly, I actually thought we were just going to get one screen prototypes, but guys built seemingly whole apps. And if yes, which is all of you, what would you like to learn? What would you like to learn next time? Or maybe go over something that you don't feel was covered in enough depth. So what would you like to learn at a next session? Okay, so some people want to learn about more code. Some people want to go into the website specific stuff. Okay, design principles and the user experience element. All right, some more design. Build a pitch deck in a day. Okay, interesting. Generating ideas, some UX again, creating chats, groups in apps. Okay, so we saw a bit of that, the chat groups being demonstrated in one of the demos. Okay, low code, no code tools, presenting the prototype, personalized session. Okay, so scope to learn actual usable apps, design principles, question banks creation. So yeah, it's really kind of designing a prototype in terms of actually creating a usable app. There are other solutions for that. We team up with Microsoft using their Power Apps platform to build an app in a day. It doesn't look as cool as Framer, but it is usable in some sense of the word. All right, cool. So we're taking all of this into account when we think about putting the next one in. And then just in general, any feedback for us, just any feedback that you want to give us, please just write it there. Let us know how you're thinking. When do we meet in person? Maybe smaller groups. Okay, that's good. How do I join the community? So you join the community by getting on our website and going all the way to the bottom and entering in your email, right? Then you'll be in the community. Smaller groups, yeah. So smaller groups might be good next time and have a more intimate sessions. Very good feedback. Some elevator music. Some people didn't like the silence. Okay, that's cool. What type of elevator music is that? Are we talking like some low-key jazz or some lo-fi beats or some blues guitar? Like,
that's actually a good, I was thinking like we should have some music going, but then I didn't know if it's going to be distracting.
Okay. I'll reach out to the elevator companies and get some music from them for next time. The recording will get sent out alongside some useful links for you to learn more and to also join the community on Discord and basically upskill yourself. So someone said it was hard to follow the Zoom screen whilst trying it myself. Yeah, I think it's easy when you have two screens. I've only recently found out that not many people use two screens. I've just been using two screens all my life, and it's so easy. So I guess, you know, it would be hard if you're just using a single one. So the recording will help you move through things a bit more slow. But there are fantastic tutorials online for Framer, really, really good ones, and the whole learning around Framer is absolutely amazing. Okay, so that would be it. Let me just unshare. Yeah, Perry and Asha, thank you very much for bringing this together on the Framer side. Asha's kind of been working behind the scenes, connecting this whole thing up, and really, really want to thank you for your part played in that. And Perry, just amazing tutorial. I was kind of in doubt that you were actually going to make it simple enough for people to follow along and actually do something. And the fact that we got some really good examples of design apps in just a single night, barely even an hour and a half, is a testament to how well you've been able to show people how to design an app, but also a testament to Framer's ease of use. And that's something that we see as really important in order to widen access to some of these things to the community and to people that, you know, previously wouldn't have even considered doing some of this stuff. So really, thank you so much. I want to open it up to the audience if there's anything anyone wants to just say before we cut off.
Thank you so much for your patience with us and for your clear explanations for those of us who really aren't techie. I know you explained the same thing over and over again for some of us. So thank you so much for that patience. And my sister's just decided to fill up her glass of water, which sounds like she's weeing just as I started to talk. But thank you so much. Honestly, it's amazing because I think a lot of us here want to get on the app trend or get online, and it just seems so overwhelming. So it's really nice to have had this really simple explanation. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm ready for the next one. Let's do it.
Awesome. Anyone else? Anyone else?
I just want to say thank you so much. It was very, very user friendly. I officially love you, Perry, and all of you guys that helped us to do this. Because like I said before, I'm not very techy and it was very easy to follow. So thank you for your time. And it went by really quickly. In the beginning, I thought, okay, it's going to be that many hours, but it's actually gone by really quickly. So yeah, I would love another session with you.
Yeah, I'm ready. That was so fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, Perry and Asha. And yeah, thank you all of you for coming along, trying something new, coming out of your comfort zone late at night like this. I know some of you probably going to leave this call and just crash. But well done to you and to those of you that shared your prototypes. We will be blogging about this, so we kind of will get in contact with some of you that have submitted your prototypes. We just want to kind of broadcast what was done today and show the amazing things that you created today. So yeah, it's just a few words to leave you with. So frame, stack, humans with like 2 A's, was it 3 A's? And then Twemoji. Like those are the words of the night, right? I'll leave you with that. And thank you again, everyone. And take care and good night.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks.